Hello students, today we are going to study class 8 science chapter 8, that is cell structure and function. This is very interesting chapter, children. So as we know that all animals and plants are living. All these organisms look different from each other. However, all of them are made up of small units called cell. So cell is the basic structural and functional unit of life. So in this chapter we will study the cell, its parts and the functions of various parts of a cell. So let's start with. So an English scientist, Robert Hooke, discovered the cell in 1665. He observed slices of cork under his self-designed crude microscope. Robert Hooke coined the term cell for each box. Robert Hooke has actually seen the dead walls of the plant cell. These cells have lost their living contents and look like little rooms. So what is cell theory? So two German biologists, Schleiden and Swan, proposed the cell theory of life. It was further refined by Robert Virchow in 1855. According to cell theory, all living organisms, either it is plants or animals, are made up of cells. Cells are the basic structural and functional unit of all living organisms. New cells arise from pre-existing cells. By cell division, no cell can originate spontaneously, and every organism starts its life as a single cell. So, we are going to study what are the instruments for studying cell. So cells are microscopic in nature and it cannot be seen by the naked eye. Today we know a lot about structure and function of cell because of improved microscopes having high magnification. So we can see the cell with the help of microscope. So electron microscope is very large instrument that helps in observing various internal parts of the cell. So now we are going to study another important term, that is staining. What is staining? So we know that cells are transparent and colorless. So they are difficult to be seen under the microscope. To see the details of the cell and its internal structure, stains means dyes, colors are used. Some common stains are saffronin, methylene blue, crystal violet. These are the simple type of stains. So we are going to start with the cell. A cell is the structural and functional unit of life forms. All living organisms, whether plants or animals, are made up of microscopic units called cell. The cell occupies the same central position in biology as the atom in the physical sciences. And living organisms are made up of one or many cells. So on the basis of the number of cells they are made up of, they are divided into unicellular and multicellular. So organisms made up of single cells are called unicellular organisms. The organisms which are made up of single cell, they are known as unicellular organisms. The examples are yeast, bacteria, euglena. These are see the picture of some unicellular organisms. Okay? And some are multicellular organisms which are made up of many cells are called multicellular organisms. For example, tree, grasses, human beings, etc. are multicellular. So now we are going to study levels of organization. That means how from cell a complete organisms are formed. So here, life is organized into 5 levels. Okay? It is cell combined to form tissue combined to form organs combined to form organ system, and then complete organisms. So a group of cells performing a specific function joined together to form a tissue. For example, all skin linings are formed of epithelial tissues. Different tissues join together to form an organ. For example, stomach, liver, pancreas, etc. Every organ performs a specific function. For example, stomach helps in digestion of food. Pancreas secrete digestive juices, etc. Not only human beings, plants also have different organs like root, leaves and stems. So all the organs that work together to perform a specific like function form an organ system. For example, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, liver, pancreas, all these are parts of human digestive system. So all these organs that work together to digest the food and hence form the digestive system. In the same way, respiratory system, excretory system, reproductive system have different sets of organs which work together to carry out the life processes. So the various organ system make up a living organisms. Shape of cell. So next topic is what are the different shape and size of the cell. So different organisms have cells of different kinds. Cells show variation in terms of their shapes and size. The shape and size of the cells are related to the functions performed by organisms and not to the size of the organism. That means the shape and size of the cells are related with their functions they are performing and not with the size of organisms. So cells show a great variation in their shapes such as spherical. Egg of many animals are spherical, spindle shaped. Smooth muscles are spindle shaped, elongated. Yes, nerve cells are elongated, oval shaped. Red blood cells, all these are elongated, branched. Some cells may not have definite shape, that is they have changing shape. For example, amoeba, already we know it do not have definite shape, and WBCs, that means white blood cells. The shape of the cells helps in its functioning. For example, a nerve cell is very long. So you know what is the reason behind why a nerve cell is very long and has wide leg projection? Because these projection help the nerve cells carry messages and send them to all the parts of the body. Muscle cell expands and contract. Their long thin shape help them to this. All the cell components are enclosed in a membrane which provides shape to every plant and animal cell. So these are the shape of the cell. Can you see the shape? RBC, WBC and nerve cells. So size of the cell. The cells and their organelles are measured by fraction of a millimeter. 1/1000th of a millimeter is called a micron or micrometer. So most of the cells are microscopic in size and not visible to the naked eye. They need to be enlarged or magnified by a microscope to be seen. The size of the cell varies from a very small cells of bacteria, they are very small, to the very large eggs of the ostrich. In human body, RBC, that is red blood cells, that is 4 mu micrometer are the smallest, and the nerve cells are it is 100 centimeter, it is the longest cell. So smallest cells are RBC and the longest cells are nerve cells. The size of the cell has no relation with the body size of the organism. The cells of a very big animal, for example elephant, is not bigger than the cells of a small animal like rat. That means the size of the cell is not related with the size of the body. The size of the cell is related to its function. For example, the nerve cell of both rat and elephant are long and branched, because they have to perform the same function of transmission of messages. Now we are going to study structure of a cell. So cells differ in their shapes and size. All cells, however, show some similarities in their structure. So a typical cell consists of 3 parts. Any cell will have 3 parts: plasma membrane, nucleus and cytoplasm. All activities inside the cell and interactions of the cell with its environment are possible due to this feature. So let's start with the plasma membrane or cell membrane. So every cell is bounded by a thin delicate membrane called cell membrane or plasma membrane. Functions. What are the functions of plasma membrane? Plasma membrane is porous and allow the entry and exit of only selected substances. It also prevents the movement of some other substances across it. So it is known as selectively permeable substances because it only allows the entry and exit of selected substances. So it is known as selectively permeable substances or selectively permeable membrane. Next function is it provides an outer boundary to the cell and separates cell from one another and also from the surrounding medium. It provides an outer boundary and separates cell from one another. It also protects the cells from injury. Now what is cytoplasm? Now we are going to study about the cytoplasm. What is cytoplasm? So cytoplasm is a thick jelly-like fluid inside the cell bounded by a cell membrane. It occupies the space between the cell membrane and the nucleus. All the chemical reactions of cell occur in the cytoplasm. There are many small cytoplasmic bodies suspended in the cytoplasm. These are mitochondria, Golgi bodies, ribosomes, etc. And these organelles are known as cell organelles. Another is nucleus. What is nucleus? So it is the most important component of the living cell. Nucleus is large and spherical structure present in the cell. After staining, it can be seen easily with the help of microscope. In animal cell, nucleus lies at the center of the cell. But in plant cell, it is present at the periphery of the cell due to presence of large vacuole. In plant cell, there is large vacuole, so nucleus is present at the periphery. So the nucleus consists of the following four parts: nuclear membrane, nucleoplasm, nucleolus and chromosomes. So what is nuclear membrane? Nucleus is separated from the cytoplasm by a membrane which is known as nuclear membrane. This is also porous and it also allows the movement of certain selected materials between the cytoplasm and the nucleus. Nucleoplasm, the dense fluid present in the nucleus. The fluid which is present in the nucleus is known as nucleoplasm. Nucleolus, it is a small spherical body present inside the nucleus. That means it is present inside the nucleus and it is rich in RNA. What is RNA, children? Ribonucleic acid. So let's start with the chromosomes. So what are chromosomes? Chromosomes are fine thread-like structure which are composed of DNA. Now what is DNA? Deoxyribonucleic acid, which are suspended in the nucleoplasm. These are also called chromatin fibers. In the dividing nucleus, these chromatin fibers condense and form chromosomes. Due to this, chromosomes are only visible in dividing cells. That means chromosomes are only visible when the cell is dividing. These chromosomes carry genes. So now what are genes? Genes are responsible for passing genetic characters from the parents to the offspring. That means genes are the unit which helps to transfer the characters from the parents to the children. A child receives one copy of each gene from mother and another copy of same gene from the father. So what are the functions of nucleus? So it controls all the metabolic activities of the cell and it is responsible for passing genetic characters from parents to the children. So now we are going to study about the different types of cell organelles. So cell organelles are small structures scattered in the cytoplasm. These are the small structures which are present in the cytoplasm. Various types of organelles present in cell performs different functions. So let's start with the cell organelle which is mitochondria. So these are small rod-like structure found in all cells and they provide energy for all the activities. This energy is produced by the oxidation of food and thus they are known as powerhouse of the cell. Mitochondria is known as powerhouse of the cell because they provide energy for all the activities. Next is vacuoles. These are sac-like structure. Plant cells have larger vacuoles as compared to animal cells. Vacuoles store soluble food, waste and secretion of cell dissolved in water as cell sap. Next is endoplasmic reticulum. So what is endoplasmic reticulum? It is a network of tubules and channels and is involved in the synthesis, storage and transport of cell products. So the function of endoplasmic reticulum is it helps in the synthesis, storage and transport of cell products. Next is ribosomes. So ribosomes are small granular structures scattered in the cytoplasm. And these are the sites of protein synthesis. The main function of ribosome is to synthesis protein. Another is Golgi apparatus. These are made up of tubules and vesicles and it is responsible for the secretion of chemical substances like enzymes, hormones and proteins. So the function of Golgi bodies or Golgi apparatus is to produce or secretion of the substances like enzymes, hormones and proteins. Another is plastids. So plastids are present only in plant cell. Plastids contain certain pigments that have a specific role to play in the functioning of plants. So there are three types of plastic. One is chloroplast. Already we know what are chloroplasts. These are the green plastids. They contain chlorophyll, which helps in photosynthesis. Another plastid is chromoplast and leucoplast. Chromo means that contain non-green pigments that give color to the flowers and fruit. And leucoplast are colorless plastids which helps in storage of food. Another is centrosome and centrioles. So centrosome is located near the nucleus. It is involved in cell division and found only in animal cell. It is only found in animal cell. So comparison between plant and animal cell. The plant and animal cells have similar basic structure. है ना? Both plant and animal cell have basic similar structure is same. But there are certain differences between them, and the main difference between plant and animal cell are, see the picture. So now we are going to discuss about the difference between plant and animal cell. So first of all, the parameter is size. So plant cells are larger in size with distinct outlines, and animal cells are smaller than plant cells. What about cell wall? Cell wall is present only in plant cell and it is absent in animal cell. So let's start. What is cell wall? I think we have not discussed about what is cell wall. So in addition to the cell membrane or plasma membrane, the plant cell and bacterial cell have an outer wall surrounding the cell membrane. There is an extra wall which is known as cell wall. This is known as cell wall. So the function of cell wall, as it provides protection against temperature variation, high wind speeds and atmospheric moisture. It is only present in the plant cell. Third parameter is plastids. Plastids are present in plant cell and plastids are absent in animal cell. Vacuoles. In plant cell, vacuoles are very large. It fills almost most of the space of the cell, and vacuoles are absent in animal cell, and if they are present, they are very small. Golgi apparatus. So many Golgi apparatus are scattered in the cytoplasm, and in animal cell, well developed Golgi apparatus that are present near nucleus. Centrosomes. Centrosome is absent in plant cell and it is present in animal cell. So see the picture of plant and animal cell. So here we can explain, we can differentiate plant and animal cell with the help of Venn diagram also. So now we are going to study about the prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells. So on the basis of their nuclear organization, and on the basis of the nuclear structure, cells has been classified into two categories: prokaryotic cells and eukaryotic cells. So what are prokaryotic cells? The cells which do not have a well organized nucleus due to the absence of nuclear membrane are called prokaryotic cells. That means the cell which do not have well organized nucleus. The organism with the kind of cells are called prokaryotes. This type of organism which are having prokaryotic cells, they are known as prokaryotes. For example, bacteria and blue-green algae. So what is eukaryotic cells? The cells which have a well-organized nucleus with nuclear membrane. The cells which have well-organized nucleus with a proper nuclear membrane, they are known as eukaryotic cells. All organisms other than bacteria and blue-green algae have eukaryotic cells. Hence, they are called eukaryotes. For example, plants, animals, fungi, protozoa, etc. are eukaryotes. Now, cell division or cellular division. See, from one cell, two daughter cells are formed. So, when a cell is formed, it is small, but gradually it grows in size. After reaching certain size, the cell divides to form more cells. During division, the nucleus of a cell splits first and into two, and then the cytoplasm divides into two separate parts across the middle. And this process is known as cell division. And the new cells formed after cell division are known as daughter cells. The new cells formed after cell division are called daughter cells. Cell division is responsible for the growth of organism. It also replaces the dead or damaged cells. Millions of cells die and are replaced every second in a body. Some unicellular organisms like bacteria and amoeba reproduce through cell division. I think already